What does the Accenture Digital Assessment look like, and how can you pass it? You'll find out in this video. Before we start, I want you to know why I'm the right person to discuss the Accenture Digital Assessment. My name is Bruce. I'm a former BCG recruiter and a part of my consulting offer where we've helped a lot of aspiring consultants pass the Accenture Digital Assessment on their way to getting their dream consulting offer at Accenture. Let's begin. When applying for Accenture's entry-level positions, you'll use the Accenture Discovery Portal online. After your application is processed, you'll receive an email instructing you to complete the Accenture Discovery Portal Digital Assessment. This assessment is expected to take around 90 minutes to complete. It has two sections, the Situational Judgment Test and the Numeracy Test. The Accenture Situational Judgment Test. The Situational Judgment Test is run through a platform that simulates a typical consulting project with a client, a business problem, and a goal the client wants to achieve. During the assessment, you will be taken through several interactive scenarios, email exchanges, informational videos, and a simulated Skype call. You will be given a number of different pieces of information, images, text, charts, and graphs. The majority of questions ask candidates to rank the answers, which are various courses of action from 1 to 5, with 1 being the action that you would most likely take and 5 being the least likely. Typically, there are no right answers, as several options would be acceptable courses of action. However, some might fit the situation better than others. The point of the Situational Judgment Test is to see whether you think like a consultant and whether you would be a good match with the values of the firm. I'll provide examples after I describe each type of test. The Accenture Numeracy Test. This test uses traditional multiple choice questions. Candidates are asked to calculate answers based on information on the graphs and charts. That part looks a little bit like the GMAT or SAT. There are 5 options presented and you must select one of the 5, which is the correct answer. Here are a few examples of what the Accenture Situational Judgment Test and the Accenture Numeracy Test look like. Example 1, Accenture Situational Judgment Test problem. You're working with a teammate who is analyzing data on a different client business unit than you. You find that the data they received would lead the team to take the opposite course of action from the data you're analyzing. Would you? A. Continue with your analysis, ignoring the data inconsistency. B. Work with your teammate to understand what is driving the apparent inconsistencies in the data. C. Let the client know that the data sets are not consistent and ask for cleaner data. D. Acknowledge the data inconsistency, but let the partner decide which course of action is best. E. Check the robustness of your analysis from the beginning to confirm that your course of action is the right one. This time, this is a classic multiple choice question with only one answer to pick. This question depicts a situation that is very likely to arise in a real business case for a client. Indeed, different members of the team might be looking at different data, all trying to build a consistent picture to provide the best answer to the client. However, in the real world, analyzing data is never as clean and straightforward as the math on a test. For instance, the differences in the data that you and your teammate are analyzing could have one of several causes. Problems with data quality, a mistake in your teammate's analysis, a difference between the fundamental economics driving the business of the two units, and more. Here, you are supposed to pick the single best answer. The answer is obviously B. Work with your teammate to understand what is driving the apparent inconsistency in the data. Why is that? It's the one answer that is solution-oriented and centered on value creation for the client. Letting the partner or the client know that there is an issue while asking them to solve it, such as in answers C and D, is not what a consultant would do. Remember, consultants are solution-oriented. They always come up with a potential approach. Finally, ignoring the inconsistency as in answer A or trying to prove that you were right as in E are simply not meeting the bar for integrity and value creation. What matters is that the team is right in its recommendation to the client. You should focus on the team's answer being the right one for the client so that the team creates value. Let's cover another example of situational judgment. Example number 2, another Accenture Situational Judgment Test example. Consider the following question. You are tasked with selling a new product that doesn't fit the market of your company. Sales are continuing to decrease every month. Do you A. Report the issue to your sales manager? B. Keep trying to sell the product? C. Look for innovative ways to approach prospective customers. D. Educate yourself on the latest sales tactics and strategies. E. Stop selling the product, research better options, and present your findings to senior stakeholders. This question is a ranking question, which is the most common type of question on the Accenture Situational Judgment Test. You're simply supposed to rank the answer from best to worst. Note that there is no obvious wrong answer here. All of these are reasonable courses of action. However, some answers are better than others, especially when put in the context of the consulting mindset in Accenture's workplace culture. If it's not obvious to you what the best answer is here, it can be helpful to use what you know about consulting and about Accenture to help you. First, you should know that consultants are solution-oriented people and always try to improve an existing situation. Second, if you're applying to Accenture, you should know that this firm has 6 core values: client value creation, best people, one global network, integrity, respect for the individual, stewardship. If you didn't know that, that's okay. Now you do. But know that it's very important to do your research on each firm that you're applying to. Looking at our example, here is how we'd approach ranking the answers from best to worst. Best answer is E. Stop selling the product, research better options, and present your findings to senior stakeholders. This answer shows that you're focused on creating value for the client, and researching better options does that. You've also shown integrity in not trying to continue to sell a product that you know is not suited to the market. The next best answers are A, C, or D. In all these answers, you are always taking some action. However, in answer A, reporting the issue to your sales manager, you are merely bringing up a problem without providing a potential solution. This does not fit with the solutions-oriented mindset of consultants. Answer C, look for innovative ways to approach prospective customers. And D, educate yourself on the latest sales tactics or strategies are not the best answers either, because the sales approach and tactics are not at the heart of the problem here. The main issue was that the item is not suited to the market. Therefore, sales approach and tactics might improve results slightly, but it is unlikely to have a dramatic impact on sales. Finally, the worst answer is definitely B, keep trying to sell the product. Since Accenture values client value creation, you should not just continue to do what you have been doing when the strategy is failing. If you ever get stuck, focus on the answers where you act with a high level of integrity and offer solutions that create value for the client, and you should be good to go. Example number 3, an Accenture Numeracy Test problem. Numerical reasoning assessments will evaluate how quickly and accurately you can answer questions about numerical data. These questions are multiple choice. You must select the best answers from a list of 4. These questions include business math questions like market share, profit margin, and break-even analysis, so you should brush up on your business math skills. If you are struggling to reach one of the 4 provided answers, try to eliminate answers which cannot be right. Reducing the consideration set increases your likelihood of selecting the best answer. Let's run through an example. Example number 3, Accenture Numeracy Test problem. In this example, you are given the 5G adoption rate in various U.S. cities, and your task is to compute the average in the top 3 cities. Of course, top 3 cities means the 3 cities where the adoption rate is the highest, which are Denver at 43%, LA at 38%, and New York City at 36%. Add these 3 numbers together equals 117%. Divide this total by 3 to get the average for the 3 cities. 117 divided by 3 equals 39%. The weighted average using the different populations of the 3 cities would be a better solution if you have access to this data. But as often in consulting, you do the best analysis you can with the data you have. Example number 4, another Accenture Numeracy Test problem. Here you are given the sales and cost data of a firm in 3 countries, US, Canada, and UK. The question is, by how much did sales grow for the North America region from 2020 to 2021? Though it's not defined explicitly, you should be able to infer from context that North America is the US plus Canada. Therefore, you should look at the total sales in 2020. 1.6 million plus 0.5 million equals 2.1 million. And in 2021, 2.3 million plus 1 million equals 3.3 million. The change is 1.2 million. Therefore, the answer is C. So after knowing all of this, how can you pass this test? I'll give you 3 tips to prepare for this online test. Number 1, practice business math beforehand. Business math isn't hard, and you'll feel more confident if you have practiced some problems more recently than in high school. Number 2, find your focus. You probably know the time of day at which you are the most alert and able to focus. For me, it's definitely nighttime. If you can, schedule your digital assessment for a time when you know you're most likely to perform at your best. You always want to make sure that you're in an environment that feels comfortable and that you have privacy. Clear away anything that might distract you. Number 3, which is really important, learn about Accenture before taking the test. While there are no wrong answers to situational judgment questions, you'll be compared to the traits of successful Accenture consultants. Understanding well what Accenture values in its people and what the firm's stated values are might help you choose between two similar answers. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the Accenture Digital Assessment. And if you're taking an online assessment like the Accenture Digital Assessment, I'd like to help you. Comment down below the firm and the test that you will take, and I will share with you some useful resources to pass it. For example, you can put Accenture Digital Assessment if that's your upcoming assessment. If you are serious about becoming a consultant at Accenture or another firm, I would love to help. My team and I are former consulting recruiters and interviewers who help applicants land interviews, prepare for any assessments like the Accenture Digital Assessment, and pass the interviews so they land their consulting offer. To date, we have a 90% success rate. That means 9 out of 10 applicants who work with us land at least one offer, and we've helped over 800 people already land a consulting job. If you are serious about becoming a management consultant and want to hear how we can help you, click on the link below to book a call with my team to find out more. Booking this call could put you one step closer to landing your offer at Accenture and other management consulting firms. But you don't have to take my word for it. Hear it from 𝗢𝗲𝗄. 𝗢𝗲𝗄 got an offer at Accenture despite starting late and having only 1 week to prepare for her interviews. I'll link to her video somewhere above my head. Okay, that's it for now. I'll see you in the next video.